Having Etsy as that support is great, but with 2 million shops and with their algorithms for search engine, SEO, that's another part of the business.
Interesting.
As I've gotten into it, there's so many things to learn about marketing.
Definitely.
And about search, SEO being search engine optimization, and about how to get found and how to sell yourself. All of that becomes more into play once you kind of get up and running. Like, you think about marketing initially just by looking at what people might want to buy.
Definitely.
With what, and how do you marry that with what you make, and how do you create a corner for yourself, a niche for yourself, as I said earlier. But then every step of the way, in order to keep going, you kind of have to, like I said, you kind of have to reinvent certain things. As a small business owner, and as a woman too, it sometimes feels a little bit strange. Like, is this? Sometimes I feel like I'm in a very traditional role because I'm sewing, and that's predominantly female.
Yeah.
If you look at Etsy, most of the people who are sewing, unless they're sewing with leather, most of them are women. Although if you go to YouTube and you're trying to learn something about leather, they're mostly guys.
Interesting. That's
yeah.
so interesting.
And they're very different from me. They're different looking. They look like they're ready to put on the plaid jacket and go outside and chop down a tree, or go check the traps or something. And it's very interesting. Or they have motorcycles. They're very hands-on people, and they're working with machines. And I'm so interested in that aspect of things that I would love to get, some real hands-on information from people like that. Somebody who's working with leather. That's the next step.
Coincidentally, I stopped in here one day to go to the post office, and Dick Greiser was standing outside, and I just started chatting with him and said, what are you going to do when you retire? Will you ever sell this building or rent this out? And he said, come on in and talk to me. I said, because I just have this vision.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, here we go. Let's talk. So we spent, that was in June 2017, and we spent about a year talking about it, and just kind of saying, well, what would it be? Just would I rent the front room? Would I rent the back porch? Or what would it be?
Yeah.
Just coffee? Would it be a market? What would he get out of it altogether? And ultimately, we came to this arrangement. Totally on target. I mean, it was pretty amazing to me to stop at one point and look back at the financial model that I put together with SCORE and realize how accurate it was. At the time we were doing it,
really
I felt
great.
like, this is just making up numbers. How do I know how many cups of coffee I'm going to sell in a day,
Yeah.
or how much money I'll make on a bottle of Coke? But I guess if you do that stuff right, if people know what they're doing, it predicts pretty well what you're going to do. So
and two of my friends were abducted and they were killed. And
I had no idea.
Yeah, that's what pushed me. And I
Horrid.
vowed.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, thanks.
Oh my goodness.
So it really freaked me out because there was two of them, and they were kidnapped and everything. So from 14, I said, I'm going to grow up, teach women and children how to defend themselves. I said it when I was like 14 or 15. So I always trained. Like I went to martial arts classes and I always trained. And then, I had my kids. I worked at a corporation. And then when I moved up here, and it's actually in this building, there was a karate studio called White Tiger. And it was Kempo. And I came here and I brought the kids here because I want my kids to really know. And the guy said, instead of sitting here waiting for your kids, come train with, help me.
That's awesome.
So some of the children here went to Reading. And I guess they told their parents how much they liked working with me. And then they must have called Park and Rec. They said, we have a new instructor for you. And they said, we heard great things about you. I wasn't even a black belt yet. So that's when I started the Reading Park and Rec in 1999. And so I've been with the karate and teaching. So I laugh because you never know when you make a vow when you're a kid, how it will unfold your life. So
definitely.
One day she goes, I'm ready for, we do a modality called Rising Star. It's a very powerful healing too. And the energy was incredible. Now we used to have to help her on the table and help her down and really be gentle with her. Anyway, her leg was moving, her breathing was like she couldn't breathe, and it made me nervous at first. And then anyway, when it was over, she's like, what the heck was that? And I go, a lot of energy here for you. And you're just sending energy. And if you come and experience the energy workshop, you'll feel it and experience it. But after that, I had to go out of the room, came back, she was off the table, she had her shoes on. She goes, I don't know what you did. I feel terrific. And she went home and she called us up. She goes, my husband rubbed, because she used to put liniment on her hip because it was out of place. Her hip was back in place.
You're kidding.
She got a dog. She lost 20 pounds, and we never saw her again.
Oh my goodness.
It was fantastic.
Oh,
it was.
what a
She's one
success
of our.
story.
Yeah, she's one of our testimonies on our website.
That's really cool.
It was miraculous, and it's humbling. Like it's not like, oh, I did that. There's energy here for healing for all of us, and I think that's what's so exciting because it's not some distant, far off place. It's here to support us, and that's what we try to teach people. There's so much more. We only think this is our little world, but our world is way big.
Yeah, sure.
And there's so many paths and options and experiences and help along the way. So, yeah, I have to say what Tracy said. It's very humbling, but it's rewarding, And how do you put a price on that? Like, how do you? Like if somebody's going to come in and they come in, they're so drained and tired, and they get a healing and their whole face lights up and they look better and they're ready to face tomorrow, then you know that you did something.